So it's almost the new year and you want to lose a little weight or a lot of weight. Hey folks, my name's Allie. Let's get started. Okay folks, so back in the early days of my channel, I made a video about how to start keto, but it wasn't very in-depth. So I want to share with you 8 steps you can do on New Year's Day to start keto like a pro. Now why should you listen to me? Well, I lost 170 pounds in 2 years on the keto diet. I used to weigh 320 and now I weigh 150. And I did all of that using keto as my guide to help me control my food addiction and cravings and my sweet cravings too. Also too, this is going to be the first in kind of a New Year's beginner guide to keto, and that's why I'm calling it Keto 101. So this is just like the overall guide, and then I'll make more videos in the next couple weeks for the new year, going more in depth about topics. Also too, if you have comments or questions about keto and how to do it, just let me know down below in the comments. Okay, so I've got my list of things that I've written out. I took some time to really think about the steps that I took to lose all my weight, and here it is for you, all nicely planned out in an 8-step list. So let's get started. So the first step to starting any new diet really is research. Look up success stories, failure stories. Does it seem like it's going to work for you? Check out what I eat in a day videos or full day of eating videos to see if you can eat those kinds of foods too. The reason it's called keto is because your body is pushed into a state of ketosis, which means that it goes from running on sugar and glucose and starches and all that to running on fat, and it gets used to running on fat. And so when you start eating at more of a calorie deficit, and I know some people don't agree with calorie counting, but for me, I just need to. And I think lots of people do too, especially if they suffer from food addiction. But like I was saying, if you're eating at a calorie deficit, your body is used to burning that fat now, and so it's gonna burn that stored fat or the fat on your body. Another level is that eating fat keeps you satiated or feeling fuller for longer. So instead of having those blood sugar rises and crashes and feeling that hunger, you're going to stay at a steady baseline throughout the day. Another part of the research, you should also always consult a doctor before you start any kind of diet or lifestyle change. I feel like I should throw that in there. And then search out communities. I found the keto subreddit on reddit.com, and that's where I learned everything. I mean, if you really want a simple source to go through with just steps on how to start besides this video, go to reddit.com and search in the keto subreddit. They have a FAQ, I frequently asked questions, and just a guide on how to start. And that's where I learned everything, you guys. I didn't have to buy a book. I didn't have to consult a dietitian or anything. I just found the information online for free. Okay, step 2 is find your motivation. Now, when it comes to motivation, I don't mean just looking good, because we all want to look good, okay? I had that motivation of looking good all throughout my life, but I never lost weight because of it. You need something tangible, and I don't mean that you have to touch it. I mean, it's like something that's really specific. So good motivation starts with a timeline, a time goal. Maybe it's in a year you're gonna weigh this specific amount of weight. Now, just having a number might not be enough motivation for you. For me, I didn't stick to a number to get to. I mean, I did want to get down to 150, but 150 wasn't my goal. My goal was to have the weight gone by the time I was out of grad school so that I could find a good job more easily. I mean, we've all heard the articles about how overweight people have trouble finding jobs. So I had student loans. I needed to be down to a good weight by the time I was out of grad school so I could pay off those loans. And also too, instead of just a major goal weight, have mini goal weight dates. Okay, so instead of just saying in a year I need to be down to this size or whatever you choose, you also want to have those times, maybe for special occasions. Maybe you want to take really great Christmas photos. Maybe you want to look great for your cousin's wedding. So it's up to you, but I think it really helps to stay on track in the short term if you have these little goals to achieve as well. And that also gives you motivation, because then you can maybe go shopping for a new dress or a new suit when you've lost a little bit more weight, and that keeps you motivated too. It's kind of like rewarding yourself for staying on track. And like I said, for this Keto 101 series, I want to go deeper into these in future videos, so just keep an eye out for those. Number 3, find your calorie and macronutrient requirements. So you can go to a lot of websites. The one that I used was the one that was linked in the subreddit for keto on Reddit, and I'll link that in the description. From what I found on that website, about a 20% deficit is pretty okay to maintain. It's not too hard, but it provides good weight loss results in a good amount of time. Now, the general rule of keto is to eat 20 grams of net carbs per day or less. They say moderate protein, but I find you should get adequate protein. So make sure you're eating enough protein for your height and your build. For me, I'm a tall lady, so I eat 100 grams of protein a day, or I try to. And so keto is called a high-fat, low-carb diet, but a lot of people think that fat's a goal. It's not. And trust me, if you have an extra 100 pounds or more to lose, you do not have to eat all that fat, okay? Because you've cut out those carbs, your body's used to burning that fat now. You want your body to burn that fat that's already on you so that you can get down to a healthy weight. And that's the standard plan. Now, there are people out there that say you don't have to worry about calories, but if you're a food addict like me and you'll just eat until, you just can't eat anymore, then calories are gonna matter for you. But if you don't have problems with calories or overeating, then I don't know, maybe you don't need to count calories. But I did, and I think lots of other people need to too. So the fourth step is to find a food list. And there are lots out there. I'm gonna link to my favorites, the ones that I used in the beginning of my keto weight loss journey, in the description. But the main thing is you can pretty much eat any meat. Watch out for things that might have sugars added to them, like deli meats or sausages. But pretty much any meat's good. Also, leafy green vegetables, broccoli, asparagus, kale, lettuce, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. Okay, as long as it's pretty much a green vegetable. Now do watch out for those starchier vegetables like peas, well, I think those are legumes, beans, and more sugary things like tomatoes. I mean, if you want to have some fajitas with a side of pico de gallo, go for it. But just keep in mind that some vegetables, even though tomatoes are fruit, will have a little bit higher carb counts. And of course, the stay away from list: flour or wheat products, corn products, sugar products, potatoes, probably carrots, things like refried beans, most fruits. And now I know some people are like, what, you haven't had a fruit in 3 years? Well, yeah, and I eat lots of vegetables to make up for that. So I don't know, fruit's kind of like nature's candy. They do have lots of sugar. And finding all those foods in the grocery store will become a lot easier once you just get used to knowing what you can and can't eat. Really, it's not knowing what you can eat, it's just knowing what you can't eat. So like I said, just staying away from those foods that are starchy or sugary. Okay, so number 5, you're gonna probably want to download a food log app. I Lose It. I use it every single day for just about every single meal. There are others out there like MyFitnessPal. Now you can try doing everything by hand, but that's really long and tedious and takes a lot of effort, okay, that I don't have time for. But once you do get your food log app going, after a couple weeks, you'll just have these foods already logged into your library. So literally, when you eat something, you just go through, scroll it, click on it, put in the amount that you've eaten, and it's logged and ready to go. And they have your macronutrient requirements and your calorie requirements all there in one spot. And I promise I'm not a sponsor, I just really like this app. I've been using it for almost 3 years now, and it works. Okay, step 6, meal plan. So some people intermittent fast and then just eat a big dinner. I prefer to eat 2 small meals and then a large dinner, but whatever works for you. I'd say don't start too quick on doing everything, okay? Just start cutting out carbs, sugars, and starches of your diet. I would recommend, instead of going full turkey on everything. So if you are already eating 3 meals a day, just replace those 3 meals. Don't jump to intermittent fasting and then just eating a big dinner at night, because that might drive you crazy. I've tried intermittent fasting. For me personally, I just don't like fasting, okay? I'm a food addict, so I'm doing what works for me. But if that works for you, great. So by meal planning, I mean write down the foods that you're going to eat throughout the week. For me, I eat the same dinner all week, and then I'll eat the same lunch and then the same breakfast. So I have 3 different meals, but they're all the same throughout the week. And like I said, I want to do a video more in depth on food planning as well. Stick to the foods that you know that you can have. So if you're going to make a big dish, stick to your keto list of foods or keto-friendly foods. For this diet, you're going to be eating a lot more fresh food and vegetables and meat and dairy. So I hope you're ready to learn how to cook a little bit. Okay, number 7, go shopping. Do the outer perimeter of the grocery store because you're gonna eat lots of fresh food. So look at the meats. That's how I meal plan first. Look at the meat and then build around that. So for me, this week, I'm doing leftover ham from Christmas. So that's my main meat. And then I'm just doing my vegetable sides. Okay, that's my dinner already planned out for the entire week. Then look at lunch. What are you gonna do for lunch? And then for breakfast. Then go into maybe keto-friendly snacks, maybe a keto-friendly dessert, maybe something that's sugar-free but is still kind of sweet if you're not opposed to artificial sweeteners. And then look at your drinks. I like iced tea. I do diet soda. Some people don't agree with that, and that's fine. Also coffee. I drink lots of coffee. So for step number 8, I do recommend getting a food scale. This is just a digital one. I did use an analog one, but I just like to be more precise with digital. Make sure it measures in grams. And yeah, this is what I measure all my food on, and I use it every day. And so you might not use that right away, especially for the first couple weeks, because you do want to get used to eating this way, cutting out sugars and starches and replacing them with more higher fat and higher protein foods. So like I said, that's just Keto 101, the beginner's guide to starting a keto diet. It's really about eating good, wholesome food and simple food too, if you like. But you can make this diet as complex or as simple as you like. So if you like making these awesome recipes, that's great. And if you just want to keep it simple with a meat and a vegetable, that's how I do it, that's good for you too. Well folks, that's about it for today. If you're looking to lose a little weight or a lot of weight and you've tried other things, I hope you give keto a try. Like I said, it's really about eating good, wholesome food and really nutritious food too. I've never eaten as many vegetables in my life as I have since being on this diet, because I used to eat just the standard American diet of pre-processed and frozen things and fast food too. And also to keep an eye out for those Keto 101 videos. I'd really like to go more in depth about some of the things that I mentioned today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to find me on Instagram, my name is Keto_Ally. Again, thanks for watching. My name's Ally. Have a good one. Bye.